Alright, bro. Alright, bro. Listen, I've been lacking. I have. I have. I ain't gonna lie to you. But there's no time for that. There's no time for that. We gotta grind for what we love. And I love this shit right here, bro. I love reacting to videos. Love it. So I gotta step up my game. I ain't gonna lie to you. We've been lacking. We're back. We're back. Listen, it's Scary Video Friday! Up in this bitch, so... yeah, we got 5 disturbing true stories with photos included. This is by Mr. Nightmare. So we got photos included in this bitch, so... yeah, let's get to it. We're gonna be dropping 3 scary videos today.
I grew up in a small town in central Arkansas. Every deer season around November, my family and I would go to our hunting cabin near Mena, Arkansas. My great-grandpa built the cabin in 1984. It was a nice cabin for the time. It's slightly outdated now, but it worked fine for my family and friends and I. 2 years ago, my friends Austin and Cody...
For real, bro. Listen. Out in the woods, bro, there's just weird shit that happens out there, bro. It's weird shit that happens out in the woods. Like, I don't know what it is about the woods. But, guys, this is just word of advice. I recommend not going out to the woods unless you're at a campground and you have an RV and a gun. You know what I'm saying? Even tents are like, I don't fuck with tents, bro. It gets too cold out there in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I don't fuck with tents for real. I fuck with RVs and stuff. Like, that should be the only way you're going out to the woods is if you have a gun and you have an RV or something. You know what I'm saying? Or a cabin. Just weird stuff be happening, bro. I don't know.
Went with me to the cabin in late October for a preseason hunt called muzzleload hunting. We were scouting an area about a mile from the cabin looking for any signs of deer because we were considering putting a stand near the spot. After splitting up and wandering around...
when you're out in the woods, you're out there with fucking mountain lions and bears and coyotes, wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and probably shit we've never even seen. You know what I'm saying? Weird shit out in the woods.
Trying to find an area with the best lines of sight for a stand, I came across a pile of rocks in the woods. After closer inspection, I realized it was a grave belonging to a man named Ed Crane. We were not bothered, more interested than anything. We snapped a couple pics, and after finding a decent spot for a stand, we headed back to the cabin. Cody tried doing some research to find anything out about Ed Crane, but he didn't come up with a whole lot. Fast forward 3 weeks, we're back at the cabin for the official modern gun season.
Weird.
This time it's just Austin and I. We were sitting in the cabin discussing where we should go for opening day, and I decided I would try out the stand we had previously put up during muzzle loading season. Austin went about 1.5 miles the other direction towards a small lake off the property to hunt. I left the cabin around 4:45 a.m. because I had about 1.5 miles walk and wanted plenty of time to walk.
Do y'all fuck with hunting? Hey, I don't mind hunting. As long as you got a gun, I think you're good. But still, I don't think hunting at night's a good idea, bro. I don't.
Slow and get to the
weird shit that happened, bro. I was watching this one video, right? These motherfuckers. There's this place out in Pecos. It's in New Mexico. It's kind of near where I live. I'm like 50 miles away from there. It's called the Triangle or something. The Pecos Triangle, right? Bro, when people go there's been like 5 people that have just mysteriously disappeared. No footprints, no nothing. If y'all want to know more about it, go research it. That shit's just crazy, bro. I don't know. Something about the woods, bro. I don't fuck with the woods. Nah.
The stand before day.
But nah, that shit's creepy, though. And it's like not too far from where I live. It's like 50 miles, something like that. Yeah, bro.
Light. This isn't a national forest, and you cannot drive any vehicles into the hunting trails. We split up at the end of the road. Me going left towards the stand, and Austin going the opposite direction. It was a normal walk for the most part. I've been in these woods since I was 9 years old, and a mile walk was nothing
Yeah.
out of the ordinary.
Just walking a mile
I
into
finished
the
my
woods.
walk and approached the stand.
That's just
trying to be
insane.
quiet as to not scare any deer that are bedding in the area. As the sun slowly started to rise, I couldn't help but keep looking over to my right to see the grave we had previously found. It was around 30 yards from where I was sitting, and it was thinly buried in surrounding brush. There was just enough light to make out the mound of rocks through the leaves. I saw something move out of the left side corner of my vision.
Oh, hell no.
This was not frightening at all. I'm completely used to seeing movement early in the morning while hunting. If anything, this was exciting. I turned fully to the left, but I could not locate what I was looking at. There was no movement. About that time, I heard, "Hey," in an almost whisper
fuck
scream
nah, bro.
coming from behind me. This made me physically jump so hard that I shook the
ain't
stand.
We
flung my head
We ain't doing all that, bro. We ain't doing all. Hell nah, cuz.
around backwards, but there was nothing there that I could make out. After turning on my headlamp and panning my surrounding area for at least 5 to 6 minutes, I took out my hand radio. While shaking, I radioed to Austin asking if he was near me. I got no response. I continued calling in on the radio while looking back and forth for the next 20 minutes. Daylight was approaching, and after chalking it up to being in my head, I finally started to calm down.
At least you got a
The sun
gun.
rose up over the trees, burning off the thin layer of fog that was covering the woods. This is around 7 a.m. now. I had almost forgotten about the incident when I heard it again. This time, "Hey Caleb." It was in the same whisper-type
the
scream
fuck?
as before. This time it was enough. I grabbed my bag and gun so fast. I accidentally left the hand radio on the seat beside me in the stand. I climbed down the ladder so fast I almost slipped off. I hit the ground and speed walked all the way back to the cabin, peering over my back every 10 to 20 steps. I opened the cabin door, and Austin was nowhere to be seen. He
Hey,
was
at
still
least bro got the fuck up out of there. I would have got up out there the first time. Like I heard, hey, like what the fuck? Out in the woods? Yeah, bro.
hunting.
Bro, if you're out in the woods, like just out there in the middle of the night, bro, and you're not hunting or nothing, you are a true menace to society, fam. I ain't even gonna lie. Like who the fuck's gonna be out there in the woods unless you're a complete psychopath?
When Austin finally did return to the cabin,
no.
he was confused. He kept asking if that was me screaming into the radio. I explained to him my experience, and I explained
on
I
the
never
radio?
screamed. His
Wait.
radio was clipped to his belt while he was standing in the doorway trying to make sense of what had happened.
What the
And right as we
fuck?
were talking about it, his radio started making
Oh yeah,
this
that's some spirits, bro. Like y'all
incoherent screeching
y'all were at the wrong hunting fucking I don't even know what to call it, bro. Hunting fucking trail or whatever. Cause didn't y'all say you seen a grave or some shit? Like nah, y'all were at some haunted ass fucking grave or some shit, man.
sound. Not a static sound.
Hell no.
It sounded organic, like some kind of animal was making it. We listened intently and sat the radio right beside us for the rest of the day. It never happened again. We came back later that week with our other friend Cody, and I looked for my radio in the stand and on the ground around it. It was nowhere to be found.
Damn.
Needless to say, we no longer hunt in that spot. You don't
Yeah.
even hunt anywhere in that direction past the gate.
Yeah, that's smart.
It was the weirdest, most unexplainable experience of my
Yeah,
life.
fuck that shit. Also, the woods could be haunted too. You know, you just never know. You never know.
It was a cold December night. I was hanging out with a few friends, Todd and Tristan. We were bored and had nothing to do. So one of us came up with the idea of going to the nearby train station platform to take some pictures and goof off. The platform isn't far from our houses. When we got there, we started taking pictures of the liminal space we found ourselves in.
It's for real.
After hanging out there for a little while, it started getting even colder and we were
Real,
hungry.
that's what me and Jacob and David be doing. We just be going to random spots, just chilling.
We started to head to our car. The path back takes us
It's not really a good idea. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's not really a good idea to be going out because we be going out to the country. We be going into the fucking. We don't be going into the woods. That's something we don't do. We go out like near where the World College is. I don't know if I should have said that or not. I don't care. But that's like near the woods. But we stay on the road. We don't go into the woods. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be careful where you're going and stuff, bro, because you never know. You never know. There's a lot of missing people nowadays. Well, not just nowadays. There's always been a lot of missing people. Just be careful.
on a long footbridge across a canal.
We should be careful too.
We spent some time on the bridge joking around and taking more
But if we know something's up, we fucking dip. We dip up out of there.
pictures.
We don't ask no questions. We just get the fuck out of there.
The mood could not have been better, but the cold was getting to us.
Gotta
so we
dip, ask questions later.
started back on our way again. The bridge was not wide enough for the three of us to walk side to side. I was walking in front, Todd and Tristan behind me. We were joking and chatting as we walked. Tristan said something funny, and I turned, still walking and laughing at what he said, when I noticed a man walking just feet behind Tristan. He looked to be in his late 30s. His face was dirty, and he was wearing a black and white plaid shirt.
Bro, just weird people just ruin the vibes, bro. You could be having a good ass time, and then there's some weird motherfucker just shows up. You know what I'm saying? This weird motherfuckers be ruining the vibes, cuz.
Ball cap. His arms were down at his sides. In one hand was a cigarette, and in the other was a large kitchen knife, clear as day.
Oh, hell no.
My blood ran cold when I saw it.
Hell no.
I quickly spun back around, pretending I hadn't seen him. For some reason, I thought that was the best thing to do. My fight or flight kicked in, and I found myself speed walking to the end of the bridge.
Yeah, you just gotta
Hopes
act
that
like...
my-
Because if you show him attention, like you start running, he's gonna start running after you. So you gotta act like you don't even notice the motherfucker. But you gotta walk fast, though. You know what I'm saying? Get to your car. Get the fuck up out of there. That's why motherfuckers gotta carry guns, dude. Like, I swear. Guns... I think that's one of the best ways of self-protection, because nowadays motherfuckers will try and stab you or pop your ass, bro. There ain't no fist fighting no more. So if you want protection, bro, you gotta have a gun.
Friends would
Gotta
catch
have a
on and
strap.
match my pace. I glanced back at them to check, and thankfully they were right on my tail. But the man was too.
Oh, hell.
He was now so close that an outsider would have thought he was part of our group.
Oh,
He stepped off the bridge
Oh,
and took a
hell
path
no.
going to the right, my friends still having no idea the man was even back there. Fearing I was about to need to defend myself, I held my tripod up like an axe. The man seemed to get the memo and took the path to the left. We walked a little bit further before I pointed him out to Todd, and I gave him a quick rundown of the situation we almost found ourselves in. Walking backwards, we watched the man disappear into the darkness, and we hurried back to the car. We drove to the nearest gas station where we got food and talked it over. The whole situation was just a weird story, up until a few days ago when I was checking the pictures I had taken that night. This picture shows Todd under a light on the station platform, but just beyond the light, almost behind a freight car, is the silhouette of the man.
what the
The picture was taken at least 30 minutes before the situation on the bridge.
He
He was watching us.
He was watching y'all the whole time. Oh, hell no. Cuz. No. Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. I'm not trying to overreact or nothing, bro, but that's just crazy. That's scary, bro.
Waiting for us to put the cameras down and turn our backs.
That's just scary.
You hear stories of things like this happening, but you never expect it to happen to you.
Just for
I still
real,
get chills.
shit like this could happen to you. If you were watching at home, this shit could happen to you. This shit could happen to me. You never know. That's why you gotta carry a gun.
Thinking about how differently it could have gone.
Shot that motherfucker. For real, for real. Anonymous.
My husband was in the military, and after we got married, we bought a house in a small town in North Carolina. Despite being considered a military town, it really was not a safe area to be in. One night we even heard gunshots down the street from us.
Damn.
But anyway, because of his job, he was gone for training operations often, and he also worked nights when he wasn't having to travel. This meant I was home alone most of the time. At the time of this story, I was in college full-time, so I was able to fill my days with lots of studying and homework to pass the time he wasn't home. One night when I was writing an essay, I was laying in bed with our dog Simba, and we both heard what sounded like rustling coming from above our heads.
Oh my god.
Simba started barking and growling, which is unusual for
Motherfuckers
him.
are on your roof.
He's a pit bull mix, and despite people thinking they're scary dogs, he is a huge baby and had never acted like this before. I thought it was mice, so I texted my husband and he agreed. He told me he'd call pest control the following day so I wouldn't have
Bro,
to
if
worry.
you have a gut feeling that something's wrong, then don't just say, oh, it's a coincidence. It's just mice, bro. This motherfucker's on your roof.
About laying bait and traps myself. 2
Hope
days
y'all got a
later,
gun.
pest control came and did what I thought was a thorough inspection of the house. There was some evidence of
Oh,
mice and
hell
roaches
nah. Watch there be someone up in their attic.
In the attic, so he laid some baits and also sealed some entry points in our home. However, over the next week, the rustling kept
mice ain't that fucking loud, bro. Mice ain't that loud, bro.
Getting worse and worse, and was always at nighttime. And every time I would hear it, Simba would freak out, and at one point his hair was literally standing up on his back. This started to really freak me out,
that's
so
crazy.
when I called my husband after
Bro, if your dog's acting like that's not mice, bro.
Happened.
Motherfuckers are up on your fucking roof.
He assured me that it was the mice, and they were just freaking Simba out. Later that night, just as I was about to fall asleep, I thought I heard footsteps from above. But since my dog didn't hear it, I thought I was just psyching myself out. Being home alone so often, I did have some anxiety, especially at nighttime, because I didn't feel safe without my husband home. The next day, I slept in pretty late and had woken up with a fever, so I wasn't feeling great. I got up to let Simba outside. The layout of the house was odd. You had to go into the garage to open the backyard door, and the entrance to the attic was right above it. As I was walking to the door, I felt like I was going to vomit. Not because I was sick, but because the door had a huge dirty handprint on it and a bunch of smudges from the inside.
Oh my god, bro. And y'all are saying it's just mice. Psst, I swear, if you have a gut feeling, act on that shit, bro.
Someone had
Shawty,
been
I hope you got a gun, bro. Oh god.
in there. I assumed someone had broken in through the garage in the middle of the night, so I took a picture of the door and called the police. I texted my husband to tell him what was going on while I waited for the police, but unfortunately he couldn't respond until later due to work. The police came in just a few minutes since their station was right down the
I would have been there, bro. I would have
street. I showed them the
I would have
handprints.
fucking raced to the house. If I heard some motherfucker had handprints on my fucking door, I'm racing back to the house, fam.
Now I couldn't understand how someone broke in because I would have heard the garage door opening. Then I realized that maybe the rustling I was hearing wasn't mice, and that the footstep I heard was actually a person. I told this to the police, and they immediately checked the attic. It turned out, some guy who lived with his family down the street from us was a meth addict, and he had been avoiding staying at his family's house. And so he had snuck into our garage when I was gone one day, and had been living up there for a little over a week. Somehow Pest Control had missed him, because he was hiding behind a bunch of boxes.
Pest Control missed that.
Apparently the inspector was not as thorough as I had hoped. Our ring security system never even
That inspector is a dumbass, bro. How do you expect to find mice when you can't even see a whole ass dude? That's tough.
the guy up
get
on
a new job, fam.
camera entering our home.
It's tough.
So he must have entered another way. Thankfully, we no longer live in that house.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting a security system all around the house, bro. We can't do all that, bro. Fuck that shit.
Area. And despite this happening a few years ago, I still get scared being home alone at night for any amount of time.
Shit,
I'm just thankful nobody got hurt.
Anyway. You should be anyway. I don't fuck with that shit.
The year was 2006. I had moved into a house with my college friend Steven and his friend Heather. I worked overnight at a radio station a few times a week. To keep my body regulated, I kept the same schedule on my nights off, which means I was up all night with way too much time on my hands. Something I liked to do super late or past midnight was to stroll through a graveyard near my house.
What? Bro, what type of hobbies y'all be having, dude? Just stroll through the fucking graveyard at night. Oh my god, bro.
I usually brought a camera and a tape recorder to see if I could catch anything strange.
What type of
I did this a few
y'all
times
have,
and
bro?
did capture a few photos that showed activity, including a strange mass of color near a bench.
Oh yeah. I'll
One
be
night driving back home.
Damned if I ever go to a fucking graveyard at night, bro. Hell nah.
I listened to the playback of the cassette tape in my car of what I had just recorded. On the tape, I had asked if there was anyone here with us,
people, bro.
even though I was the only one there. A weird, exhausted voice replied with a simple no, as if to say we were the only ones there. When I heard this, I had just about driven off the road. I had chills and became terrified. I know this was the point of what I was trying to do, but I guess I didn't know how to react if I had actually caught something.
Shouldn't be fucking with
When I
spirits,
came home,
bro.
I woke up my roommate to seek some comfort. He was less than empathetic and told me not to bring that crap in the house.
On God, that's what I would have said too, bro. I said, hey, don't bring that fucking shit up in my house, bro. Swear to God, dude, I'll never live with somebody that's playing with Ouija boards and shit, fam. We ain't doing that shit, bro. You best get the fuck away from me. I promise you.
Shortly after this
ain't
incident,
doing
things
that.
got weird.
Hey, I fuck with your roommate, bro. I would have said the same thing.
One night in my room,
Feel bad for you, bro. Seek some comfort, man. Fuck your comfort. You're the one going out to the fucking cemetery at night, at midnight, bro. What the hell is wrong with you? You need to get some new hobbies, motherfucker. Some new fucking hobbies.
I was watching videos on my computer when the decorative leaves I had on the wall started swinging back and forth as if they had just been smacked by something. Another night, I had come home after purchasing some things at the store. I was in my room,
bro.
And I had left a plastic bag from the store on the floor.
Don't fuck with that
As
shit.
I was lying in bed, the bag started making a crackling sound like crumpling a bag with your hands.
Oh my God.
I looked at the bag. It was just sitting there. It kept making the sound, and soon enough started moving and hopping across the floor all by itself. I jumped up, stood on my bed, and called my roommate on the phone who was upstairs. I told them to come downstairs to my room ASAP. As soon as I got off the phone, the bag immediately stopped moving and making noises. My roommate thought I was crazy when I told him what happened. He took the bag outside and checked for what he thought might have been a mouse or something in the bag, but no such thing was found. I also had one of my worst recurring nightmares in that room.
Oh, hell no.
I've had a recurring nightmare since I was a kid, where I feel like my eyes are being forced shut into sleep. It happens after I wake up or before I fall asleep. My teeth always start chattering, and I can barely make any audible speech to tell it to go away. I have never known what this was. The times this has happened to me, a few unpleasant things have come along with it. One time I felt hands grabbing at me. Another time I saw a horrifying face in the closet. One night in the room I began drifting off into sleep early, and in between being awake and being asleep, this thing started up again. It was very weak at first, and I taunted it, saying, "Is that the best you can do?" But it became powerful and hard to fight. It felt like 30 full seconds of not being able to get out of this powerful force. I couldn't move, and I felt like my body was being spun around, even though it wasn't. Finally, it stopped. I don't know if this is some sort of sleep paralysis, or if what was happening in the room had anything to do with it.
That's why I don't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side. It's weird. Like, if you sleep on your back, you're more willing to get sleep paralysis. And I don't want to deal with that. That sounds scary. So I sleep on my... I'm a side sleeper anyway. That's the only way I sleep.
Morning at 5 a.m., what sounded like huge footsteps walking through somewhere in our place shook the whole house. Everyone was asleep except for me.
I can't even say you gotta move out, because that shit's just latched onto you. You gotta go to fucking... You gotta go to a priest or something at this point and get a blessing, because you were cursed. That's tough.
Just lying in bed. It couldn't have been Steven upstairs. He was never this loud.
I'm not even... Like, I have no sympathy for you, because you're the one that chooses to go out to fucking cemeteries in the middle of the night. Like, if you don't take your dumb ass to sleep... Jesus, man.
We lived near a military base, so maybe it was from that. But the way
Bro, the only way I'm doing something scary is watching scary movies or scary videos. That's it, bro. I'm not gonna go conjure up some shit. Fuck that. Bro, and anyone, all the Marvin Garden enthusiasts, bro, don't do that shit. Please. Don't do it. If you want to do it, then that's on you. Because you're your own person. But my recommendation is don't do that. Don't fuck with spirits, bro. That's not a good idea. Don't play with Ouija boards. Don't do spirit boxes. Even shit like spirit box apps or Ouija board apps. Don't even fuck with that shit. That's just my recommendation. Because, dude, do y'all want to get cursed? Because that shit's real. Y'all may think it's fake and all that. And if you want to go try it, hey, you're your own person. But, hey, that's all on you.
Loud booming stomps moved in succession.
So listen,
like
these are real stories, guys. These are real stories from real people. This real shit. I mean, some of it could be a little over-exaggerated, but, bro, these are true stories.
Person walking through. All these things were confusing and mysterious, but it wasn't until one night when I snapped a picture of the three of us in the living room that my roommate and I knew that we had a presence in the house. We were having a party. What you're looking at is me taking a picture of us in the living room with our giant mirror on the wall. I was holding my camera as still as I could, yet there seems to be activity all around us.
Yeah,
I
bro.
have no idea what those weird strings of light
Just like I said, that shit is latched onto you, my guy. Look at that.
are to the right of the lamp. We have nothing that would give off any kind of light.
I know cameras weren't the best in the 2000s, but look at all this, bro. That shit is latched onto you.
Like that in the house. To the right of that, there seems to be a strange mass of light imitating a figure.
Yeah.
But the weirdest of all is the rising mass of yellow light coming between Steve and
I,
which looks to have eyes, a face, and a sinister smile atop a body. Maybe that yellow is a reflection from our kitchen light, but there's a lot of it. I've also tried retaking the same
light
picture.
Isn't even on, my guy.
Those yellow lights don't come up anymore. I don't know if something from the cemetery had followed me home, or if there was already a presence before we moved in. But what I told you was the worst of it.
Maybe both.
About 10 months later, we moved out of that house, not telling any future tenant or renter about it.
Damn, you didn't even tell motherfuckers about it. That's wrong.
A friend
if
of
I'm moving out of a house and it's haunted, I'm gonna say, hey, that bitch is haunted, just so y'all know.
Mine, who I'll call John.
They probably won't believe it, but, you know.
He was 27 at the time, and his former buddy, who I'll call Rich, was around the same age. Rich was a very daring man, if you will. John, at the time, was struggling with life decisions and had very little friends. Rich and John belonged to a hobby group of people who are interested in fire alarms, exit signs, and other life safety equipment.
What the fuck?
Kind of an unusual hobby,
yes.
but they're out there.
What type of hobbies do y'all have, bro? Y'all are into stop signs and fucking... What?
Rich had a problem with going into abandoned buildings and stealing these devices and often bringing them home, adding them to his collection or otherwise selling them on eBay. While John didn't think it was right, he was desperate for a friend and went along with him on his adventure. But this adventure very well became a nightmare for John.
Bro, you're that
On November 18th, 2019, they settled off
for... I will never be desperate for friends, bro. I could have no friends. I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like... Bro, some of y'all be way too desperate for friends. Like, if you're lonely, bro, then... Hey, just ride it out. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, a lot of y'all motherfuckers be way too desperate for friends, fam. Like, you don't... Realistically, you don't need friends all the time. Like, friends be... Like, the friends I have are cool as fuck. Like, the friends I have will tell me to get on the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't need these friends. Like, y'all don't need to be in these circles, bro, where it's just unmotivating shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers are going out looking for stop signs and alarm clocks, or I don't even fucking know, bro. Like, bro, it's cool to not have much friends. Like, keep your circle of friends that are cool and stuff, and that have jobs, and you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, keep your inner circle, the friends that are there for you, like the real true friends. But y'all gotta be watching who you're hanging out with, bro, because these motherfuckers, bro, you're too desperate. You're too desperate.
A trip to Gary, Indiana.
I'll be damned if I ever be desperate for a friend or a girlfriend. Nah, we ain't doing all that.
If you don't know Gary, it's not the safest place on the planet, to say the least. The trip would entail staying at a hotel in the nearby town of Hammond and heading into several abandoned schools so Rich could basically steal old and oftentimes rare life safety equipment. It was going well for them.
What?
Until November 20th. This day, at approximately 7 at night, John and Rich went to the abandoned Horace S. Norton Elementary School at 1356 Harrison Boulevard. They started making their way through the first floor.
Weirdos,
The doors were wide open, and I mean wide open. The building smelled like sewage, skunk, and shit all mixed together.
That's disgusting.
They made their way to the north end wing of the building. John watched Rich rip down several old exit signs. Again, John and I are against that, but John was desperate for a friend. As they made their way down to...
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, you are a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. You're ripping down exit signs. Bro, you know you could get arrested for that shit? You can't go into abandoned buildings, bro. That's fucking... Oh my god, bro.
The south side of...
fucking trespass, and you're destroying shit. Oh my god. All because you want a fucking friend. You're a fucking loser, bro.
The
I'm
building.
sorry.
They entered the
I'm
cafeteria.
not trying to be mean, but
It
come
was
on.
pitch
bro.
black except for the beam of their flashlights.
And
there was some
that's a creepy ass cafeteria. Oh my god, that reminds me of the abandoned school over down the street.
graffiti, desks, and books
Actually,
scattered.
they demolished that shit. Now that I think about it,
You know, the
wish I
typical
did a vlog in there.
abandoned building scenes. John was taking pictures throughout. After the cafeteria, they made their way to the gym. Little did John know his life was about to change forever. John noticed a trail of blood with his flashlight,
Oh,
and
hell
out of
no.
curiosity decided to follow it. And what it led to was quite disturbing. A 27-year-old female laid there dead in a
Y'all motherfuckers always trying to investigate, dude. Always trying to investigate.
pool of blood.
If I see a pool of blood, bro, I am gone. I am gone. Because there could be a killer in that bitch.
It was gruesome as hell. Her arms were up, with her hands in the shape of a dinosaur, as John put it. Just the way John described the scene to me made me lose sleep for a couple nights. John screamed and ran into Rich, and Rich whispered, "Shh, they may hear us."
Huh?
John was shaken up and showed Rich the body,
What do you mean
to
they?
which he said, "Just don't say anything to anybody, and we'll pretend this never happened." They left immediately,
Get the
but
fuck
obviously
outta there.
shaking. As soon as they got back to the hotel, John called the police. Sure enough, the woman had been missing for 2 days prior. It didn't take long for the police to track down a text conversation between the woman, who was now identified as 27-year-old Adriana Saucedo, and her murderer.
Damn.
She was planning to buy some weed and an iPhone, apparently, and the suspects had intended to
Some
rob
weed
her.
and an iPhone. Weird combination. Yeah. Hey, y'all be watching who your plugs are for real, bro. Those motherfuckers can backdoor you real easy too. They could rob your ass, kill you. A weed and an iPhone. What?
The robbery went wrong, and they ended up killing her. Not before dragging her body into the gym of the elementary school,
See, they
and
can
casually
set you
dumping
up.
it there just a day before John and Rich went there. Sure enough, it didn't take long for the police to track down the teen
Weird
murderer
people, bro.
and put him in custody. The teen also turned in 2 others as well. All of these kids were charged as adults, and the story is on the news as well. John is no longer friends with Rich, for obvious reasons.
John, bro, you are a fucking loser. Let's see if I can find that shit on the news one day. I'm gonna try and look it up and stuff. But John, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you are a fucking loser. All that shit to make a friend, bro. Man, fuck that dude Rich, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cut that motherfucker off. So y'all are getting charged too? I think y'all are gonna get charged with trespassing or some shit. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Y'all are too desperate for friends, man. Like, bro, sometimes you just gotta ride it out alone in life. You come in this world alone, you die alone. I'm out.